Mr. Parthasarathi Das, Pre-Sales Head, Southeast of Tata Teleservices Limited. Parthasarathi Das has over 16 years of sales and pre-sales experience in IT and telecom, largely in telecom. He is a postgraduate in information technology and marketing and has worked with major telecompanies like Bharati Airtel, Reliance Communications, Videsh Sanchar Nigam, Tata Communications, and Tata Teleservices. He has wide experience in telecom sales, business development, and customizing solution based on the emerging trends in telecommunications. May I invite Mr. Parthasarathi Das.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Parthasarathi Das. Thank you for the introduction. Well, I will just quickly take you through my presentation. As the presentation says, accelerating growth and innovation in SME business, we will be talking about certain points which are very, very critical and important for the SME business. So what growth means to you? So it's different for everyone. Somebody wants a growth in terms of more customers. Somebody would like to have a growth in terms of going to many geographies. Somebody would like to increase his product portfolio and service offerings. So if you look at it from a customer point of view, there are many points which are coming out very clearly, which means you need to have a scalable model. You need to have a model which is actually helping you grow leaps and bounces without investing heavily on CapEx, without investing heavily on spending money on developing your own technology and your infrastructure. So when we talk about growing business, we have growing needs, which actually will also talk about how you're going to grow your own internal strengths and how you're going to grow your partner as your business is going to go leaps and bounces and going to grow in many geographies, in many areas where you will be covering wider range of customers and wider range of service offerings we're going to be offering here. So here we talk about increasing productivity. We talk about how an in-house sales force will become a mobile sales force, how we will be able to do a multitasking in terms of increasing productivity of each and every individual, how we going to improve the quality of manpower. And when you talk about growing the partner community where the business is going to go many folds, we also talk about how to get a proper partner when you are growing to the next level and how you're going to set up a model which is scalable and which is reliable. So ICT has the answer to this, and ICT is something which actually can resolve many of these issues. We had a very interesting panel discussion on cloud. So cloud also is a very, very integral part of this ICT offering. So here we talk about scaling up the business to going and using ICT as a catalyst which will leapfrog your growth and your development to the next level. So I'll just give you an example. One of our customers was answering the basic need of a consumer, where the consumer actually is looking for healthcare as a service for him. So right now, suppose a customer wants to contact a doctor, and he wants to get a consultancy from a doctor. What he does, he calls his friends, he calls his relative, he goes through his diary, calls his doctor, and fixes an appointment. Now, for an example, now he has a mobile app where he will be able to, just like your Ola cab, he will be able to locate the doctor nearest to him, or an Uber cab gets doctor located closest to him. If he wants a gynecologist to be located, he will just go to the app, select gynecologist, select OK, and all the gynecologists in the nearby areas, wherever he is located onto the app. He just like you have in Uber, you just call your doctor, so you just call your driver, you just call the doctor, fix an appointment. Doctor can come in and give you his services, or he can even give you a consultancy over the phone. So now what we are talking about here is the doctor has, suppose for example, treated the patient over the phone. He gives a prescription using the mobile app. The prescription is sent to that particular patient over an email, and also on the app, a copy of the prescription is sent to the nearest pharma store. Now the pharma store gives a discount to the customer, and then the medicines are home delivered to this customer. So we're talking about an integration of doctors, patient, and the pharma store, and also in the background somewhere is this app and the company working in integrating this and charging minimal to the patient who is in the need of the service. So all this is possible. It's very easily said, as I said, like a story. But when you talk about implementing this, there's a lot of technology behind it. There's a lot of hard work in terms of setting up a mobile app is there. You have to set up a website. You have to set up a callback service. You have to set up an IVR. You have to set up an SMS. You have to set up a payment gateway. So there is a lot of things which is in the background of providing this small service to the clients is. So when you have an ICT offering which is actually spread from point A to point Z, you can actually pick and choose what you want, at what price you want. And for an SME, which is very much important, is this model available to me on an OPEX? Can I start with zero CapEx? The answer is yes. To a larger extent, the answer is yes. There are a lot of services and solutions which are being built, which are being designed, which can start up on an OPEX model, and you can actually go in and start up this kind of a platform which is online, which can give you wider reach, faster scalability, and higher productivity for your money that you put in. So while investing in ICT, there are vital, some very important points which are coming up where people are talking about mobility. People are talking about data being available whenever they want to. Talking about support systems and security, which a lot of people were talking about security. High rate of attrition of skilled manpower, which is also a very, very important and critical point. And increasing competition from domestic as well as global players. So we want to become an Uber, but we don't have the amount of cash and the money to put in. So what do you do? How do we go and compete with Uber? How do we go and compete with Ola? So there are solutions and there are products available. There are, as some of you wanted some consultancy also, we have a team of people who can actually consult you in terms of how much you have to invest, at what level, and what will be the outcome, and how your ROI will look like. So, and when we talk about changes, we also talk about changes in technology, as our panelists were talking about, later is better. So as somebody has not bought an iPhone 5 can go and buy an iPhone 6 now. So, and then can actually get the better of the technologies. So as we talk, as we speak, even now there is something new coming up every moment. There is something which is evolving every moment. And there are services which are fantastic in terms of delivery, and it's in scalability, and also in terms of deployment. So we have all sort of services and platforms available for SMEs and SMBs where we can actually get a full office setup out of a box. So you want to start an office like our government representative, Mr. Jairam, was saying that T-Hub, for that matter, is providing seats. So what actually it is, you actually walk in there with your laptop, you get a cloud where you can host your server, you get internet bandwidth of hundreds of MBs, you get email IDs bundled with it, you get security, both cloud-based and premise-based, you get IVR facility for your call center, small call center setup. So everything is there available at the back end. As many of you know, at the back end, the technology which runs, which connects everything, is a basic service operator like Tata Teleservices. Or for that matter, anybody who is able to connect everything together is internet. So internet is something which is very, very essential and very, very important. And we are one of the major internet service providers here. And on top of the internet service that we have built platforms, and we have built softwares which can help you go to the next level. So typical questions which are faced by the CEO and the CIOs are how to minimize cost. It's actually the value proposition is more to do with how do I reduce my spending and increase my productivity? How do I make more money by spending less? And how do I optimize? So when I have a resource sitting out of my premise, how can I make it do 120%, 130% by not spending more than what I'm spending already? So there are some choices being offered by Tata Teleservices. In a brief, what Tata Teleservices is right now actually an amalgamation of two main entities, Tata Docomo and Tata Communication. I don't want to want you to go through this English. So it actually basically talks about 4-5 main points. We are the world's biggest undersea cable provider. We connect over 240 countries. We carry around 24% of the internet traffic in the world. And we are world #1 wholesale voice carrier. So what is it for the customers? It provides security, it provides reliability, it provides global reach, it provides a very, very stable and robust service provider who can actually give you a higher availability and a higher scalability whenever you want it. So in a very, say in 3 product categories, we have some products here. So when I spoke about that solution the pharma company was going through, he picked and chose few products from this huge list of services and stitched it together. And he was able to use that service for his customers. So we have very clearly some enterprise data products, we have enterprise voice products, and we have managed services products. So all this coming together is offering the services which any startup or any SME or SME will be using when he goes and becomes a entity of use. Yeah. So that's the last slide, empowering your customers to do big. And by the way, it's you are our customer and your customer is your customer. So it's all in the same. Thank you.
Parthasarathi Das, I just would request you to come back to the stage, please. We would like to definitely felicitate you. May I request Mr. Srinivas Gaura, Vice President, FAPSI, and Managing Director, Gaura Group, to give a small token of appreciation to Mr. Parthasarathi Das. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next case study of the day, we have a very interesting case study on how IT as a big business differentiator at Gati. For this, I would like to invite Mr. G.S. Ravikumar, CIO, Gati Limited. Mr. Ravikumar is a goal-oriented IT leader with over 24 plus years of demonstrated experience in strategizing, planning, developing, and implementing cutting-edge information technology solutions to address business opportunities. Mr. Ravikumar has been accredited with quite a few first-of-its-kind, very successful implementation strategies in the country in the respective technology areas. And the same has figured as case studies in various IT magazines and websites. Mr. Ravikumar has applied for 2 patents, which are awaiting certification in the area of mobile technology. He has the uncanny knack of providing very innovative, cost-effective, Indianized IT solutions for business. Over to you, Mr. Ravikumar.
Good evening. Thanks to NASSCOM for this opportunity. I was told that I need to talk to the SMBs and probably explain how IT can be utilized as a big business differentiator. So what I thought is I'll quickly take you through a few slides of what Gati is and how IT has played, is it audible? How IT has played a big differentiating role in Gati. At the end of this 20 minutes time, I want to leave away with few thoughts. One, that when you say IT, it is not a big complex thing which usually it gets associated to be. And it is not about big ERPs. It can be different small solution to different companies but still it can give a huge impact. So let me give you a brief background about Gati, and then I will talk about a couple of projects to showcase how IT has played a big role in our organization. And in this process, I might take you through a couple of years back so that it makes a logical sequence. I don't know how many of you know about Gati. Gati is headquartered out of India, and we are a 25-year-old company. All our previous speakers, most of them are technology companies. We are not a technology company, but we use technology quite heavily in our organization. We are primarily into end-to-end supply chain. If you have seen the figures there, we are into express distribution. We are into e-commerce. When I say e-commerce, probably some of the orders you place is picked up from our warehouses and delivered by us for the most of the e-commerce companies. We have cold chain business. We are into freight forwarding, and we have into end-to-end various sort of logistics and supply chain services. When we say Gati, usually we associate industry like logistics and supply chain to more of a transport. And the minute you think it is a transport, you do not associate much of technology. In fact, you do not associate technology at all. And you might be surprised and that Gati has lot of first to its credit and not in its core businesses in IT as well. I will talk about quite a few of these. And what I wanted to tell, Gati is probably a 1,600 plus crore organization today. Okay? But in the last 10 plus years back, probably it was not 1,600 crore. Even then, we were focusing on technology, and any service industry, technology is a key, and we were no exception. So there are quite a few first. If you look at in that slide, some of it are IT, and I will touch upon some of these as I go by. We have 4,000 plus Gatiites or employees, direct Gatiites. We have 3,000 plus pickup and delivery people. These are all whom we call as business partners. 540 plus offices and 1,200 two-wheelers, 24/7 call centers, reefer trucks, and huge warehouses. So what I want to leave there is, it is widely spread to the nook and corners of the country, and most of our offices are at the outskirts, where you don't have the best infrastructure. Now, I wanted to take you through the milestones. Although I'm going back to 2002, the reason I'm taking you to 2002 is you might find some of the interesting things. We were one of the first few companies in the country who have started using mobile. In 2002, we launched mobile-based tracking, which means automatically my customers not only got the mobile update, my delivery boys could update the website using a mobile. In 2002, mobile was unheard of. Correct? And 2002 is when we rolled out IP phone. The reason I'm going back and stressing is we always associate large company with technology. In 2002, we were a company which was not a technology company, but we rolled out pan-India IP phone. Probably Vinu is there, is Tata Infotech at that time was involved in it. Now it was a case study, and it covered from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And 2003, we went completely centralized on a web-based application, and the title says Gati at Web, which means we moved the entire Gati onto web. And for the young generation, the 2003 might be very long back, but at that time, nothing was on web. Most of it were client-server architecture. Okay, and we moved on to instant messaging and three-way DR. Probably we are one of the first in the country to implement a three-way DR at that time in 2005 using Oracle Data Guard. I'll skip what is not important. What is very important here is in 2007, which is almost 8 years back, from then we are on mobile. Okay, Huge amount of activity happens on mobile, and I'm going to take you through a couple of cases, briefly, on how we use mobile from 2007, okay, and the length and breadth of the application. In 2010, we went on to something called, everybody talks about analytics, but I'm not going to call it as analytics. We always look at anything, can it be done in 2 clicks. So all my dashboards from top to bottom, everything works on 2 clicks. So if I can give a mouse and 2 clicks, anybody from educated to the least educated, who's my delivery guys or my guy in my pickup and delivery process, what we call it as hub, can use all these dashboards. And we have introduced quite a few innovative processes in this mobile, which I'm going to explain to you as a case study. We did in 2013 a very interesting mobile application for scanning packages, which I'll explain. And 2014 onwards, we are using mobile to track our delivery people. These are the milestones what we have done specifically in IT. I'm not going to spend too much of our time explaining each of them. So, to summarize it, we have centralized ERP, which most companies will have, so I'm not going to stress, but the only thing is when we started was the most important thing. We monitor the entire country of close to a couple of 100 locations. All these 100 locations have got CCTV cameras, and it gets a couple of thousand cameras gets monitored centrally. We have few thousand vehicles which gets monitored centrally. Every vehicle is tracked. We have got few thousand delivery people. All those delivery people are also tracked. Okay. Now, having said that, apart from that, we monitor each of my cold storage vehicle. We monitor the temperature in each of the vehicle. This is in broad the IT landscape of Gati. Okay. And I'm going to take you to 3 small case studies, 1 slider each. It is more important to understand what was the problem and what is the solution, and how unique it was and why we think it is different. The first thing is in an express delivery. What is an express delivery? When I pick up from a company, say Wipro or IBM or a Dell, the PCs or a laptop, and deliver it to company B. Okay. In India, when I deliver it to company B, I have to take on a piece of paper the signature of the recipient company along with the company seal. Until I give this paper back to my customer, if in the example, let us take Dell. I move Dell's laptops to customer B. I have to submit this physical paper to customer A. Only then he will release our payment. So what is the challenge? We focus more on movement of the material. The amount of care we take to move the Dell laptop from customer A to customer B is very high. But the focus on moving the paper back is not so high. And paper, we are not experts in moving paper. We are experts in carrying parcels. So until I give this paper back, I don't get my bill. So quite often, we find that we have delivered 10, but I have only 10 copies, what we call as a proof of delivery. So my collections get stuck, my bills get stuck, and most of the customer, even if one airway bill or docket is not there, the entire bill gets stuck. So it was a huge business problem, correct? And not only that, in most of the government contract, if HCL supplies PCs to government in Northeast, HCL will get paid. Only we can submit this copy not to HCL, HCL in turn has to submit to the government office. If they don't get it, not only I don't get a payment, even HCL will not get a payment. So the business problem is much larger, okay? And we wanted a very simple solution. That is when in 2007, we came out with a very innovative concept using a simple mobile. Today it is, every child knows it, every child does it, but probably we were the first in the world to make it a solution for the corporate. All we did is we gave a $4,000 mobile. Whoever is a delivery boy, they carried their own mobile. we put a simple application. We said capture the delivery detail and use the camera to take the image of that POD, okay, the proof of delivery. And this became real-time update. For now, after 8 years, it looks very simple, but in 2007, nobody used this. And most importantly, when we rolled out pan-India, which means there were delivery people who are probably not as educated as most of us here. You know, they will carry a beautiful mobile, but they don't know how to send SMS, correct? They know the mobile. So we were to roll it out pan-India, and this became a huge success. We had a plan of rolling it out 1.5 years, because we are talking about 240 plus location, 1,000 plus delivery people. You know what? We succeeded in less than 3 months. Exactly, we started on December 12th, 2007, and we completed on February 12th, 2008. The reason was, it was so simple, and it solved all their problems. So what I want to stress is, at that time when we were thinking it's so complicated, how my delivery people who is not qualified, how will he use a mobile, how will he use an app, how will he take a picture, how will he attach to a mobile app and send it across? If the solution is beneficial, anybody will use it. And they will use it even if you don't force them. And it was such a great success. What you had to spend crores. My total expenditure was 22 lakhs. Okay? And we recovered that not in years, not in months, in few days. Because the outstandings used to be so huge because we did not send the POD. So we had a simple solution to a very complex problem, and it did not require a lot of investment. That is what I wanted to tell to the SMB. Not all solutions require huge investment. It is possible. We have to look at what is our problem, is there a different way of doing it. This is, you might be wondering, what is this project 10C called? That was a code word because competition is always there. So we came out, the first thought which came out to me when I thought about this project, I talked to my MD, and probably he had a smile on his face, thinking that Ravi Kumar is talking some idea which is never going to work. And as usual, all businessmen, he asked me, what will be the benefit? The first thought came to me is probably 10 crores. That will be my benefit. It was not a calculated number, that was a gut number I had at that time. And 10C stands for that. It was 10 crore benefit I will get immediately. Probably my benefit is far, far, far higher than what I have stated there. Okay? That is project 10C. Of course, next we had some 20C, we had 30C. Don't ask me whether it meant 20 crore and 30 crore. It did not. It had, like an IT guy, it had versions. 10C became 20C and 20C became 30C. After 10C, it did not specify crores. It only a version. Now, I told you that the first case was to take care of my delivery people. Okay? When I deliver it, I took a simple image, I uploaded. What was taking days together, it happened almost real time. Now, that was for the delivery. Now, what about the picking? If I come to, unlike abroad, the most important, second important point I want to leave is, we can't always copy the Western world. In Western world, if somebody comes to your door to pick up, they will not do anything. You have to pack it, you have to label it, print it, keep it. He will just come, pick it up and go. In India, even the topmost company, if we have to come and pick up, we have to come, we have to pack, we have to put the sticker and carry. So that was a big challenge. Just imagine if my delivery pickup person comes to any of your office where you've got 200 packages. Okay? He has to label each of the package. Now just imagine what sort of time it will take to cut an airway bill, paste 200 stickers. Okay? It is possible when you come to a company, they might have 5 different destinations. Each destination, 100 packages has to be delivered, which means 500 packages has to be pasted. If there are big corporates, we put a computer, we put a printer, they do it. Small companies, they don't do it, nor they allow us to do it. So we have to find a different solution. And most importantly, we have to find an extremely cost-effective solution. So what we did, of course, once we have tasted success in a mobile, we said, hey, booking guy, you also capture the booking detail. Now that is not the greatness of this project. What was important of this product is we clubbed along with it a mobile printer. Some of you people might have seen in the airport a mobile printer where they print your boarding ticket. Now the difference is boarding ticket is a simple paper. Here I wanted the same mobile printer which comes in 10-20,000 sort of rupees or 30,000 rupees to do a job of printing a label. Correct? Is very different. If you try printing a paper and printing a label, it is like 180 degrees opposite. And we did our own stuff of trying, and we were successful in using this mobile with a Bluetooth connectivity to this mobile printer. So when my pickup guy came, all he had to do is to put your address and the delivery address and put 100 package. And what it took 30 minutes, 40 minutes for him to write a 100 sticker was done in a couple of minutes. 40 minutes is an understatement. It might take more time to write 100. So just imagine if I were to send 500 packages, it all happens in 2 minutes. Look at the time advantage we got. Not only that, just because he captures it, my load planner earlier had to wait how much each of these guys are going to pick up and come. Only when you come, you know what is the load. Correct? Today, since he's doing real time, sitting in the office in Hyderabad, I can still tell what is the load expected for these guys. How many vehicles has to be planned for sending it on that day. So this was a second solution which paired a mobile and a mobile printer. Not only we did that, added to that, we did something very interesting. All of us have been seeing the scanners, correct? These scanners, if you go and ask a Motorola scanner, earlier it used to be Symbol, now it is Motorola, the high-end scanner, it cost 1,20,000 rupees, correct? It is order of the day in a developed country. But if I were to invest 1,20,000 plus scanner into so many hundreds of people to do a scanning, is very prohibitive. So what we did another innovative thing. We paired a simple tablet with a Bluetooth scanner. Okay, and what the 1,20,000 plus scanner did, we could do it in less than 30,000. And most importantly, the screen space is so big that we started eliminating a lot of laptops and PCs on the shop floor. Not only we could do this, we put interesting apps in it, okay, which I could not have achieved in a Motorola with a real estate space being very small. Okay, now the purist will argue, there is one device, now we are talking about two devices. Okay, you have to have a scanner and you have to have a tab. You don't have to carry a tab, you can put it on your neck. And what we did interesting, if you have seen, the people who are picking up and loading are all from different states. And these loaders, like you have seen a porter, they don't understand so much of English. Now we brought in voice into it. So what we did, in a Haryanvi guy, it can speak in Haryanvi. No, it can speak in Telugu, it can speak in Punjabi, saying the docket, that shipment is found, not found, where to put it. These are all pre-recorded, but these are all cost-effective solution, what we could incorporate. This is the second solution, what we did. And the third and final solution is the GA. GA is my delivery boy. We call them Gati Associate. In the space of e-com, all of you order on Amazon, Snapdeal, etc. And quite often, if you have ordered on them, it is we who will be delivering it. Now, Gati has been a pure B2B. We moved to B2C. When people ordered on these Amazons and Snapdeal, we were delivering instead of from Dell to HCL or Dell to Caterpillar or Dell to IBM, we are trying to deliver from Snapdeals to end customer like you and me. There's a big change in that. Now, what is the big change? My delivery person earlier was carrying some machinery, which is not valuable for him, correct? He has to deliver it. Today, in the space of e-com, there's a big change. Today, if my delivery guy carries 5 of Apple phones, it is 2.5 lakhs, easily, correct? If he carries 20 of them, multiply it. So suddenly, the value what he is carrying is huge, number one. Number two, when he delivers it, most of the Indian customers don't like card. They still like something called COD, which is cash on delivery. We like to receive it, check it, try it, test it, and then make the cash payment, correct? So what was the problem? The problem was that not only he was carrying item, now he is carrying money, correct? If he delivered 10 of those Apple phones, he is talking about 5 lakhs, in cash, what he is carrying. Okay, and I'm talking about very small numbers. Probably each guy delivers much more than 10 items, okay? Easily he delivers 25, 30 items in a day, correct? Multiply it. So what was it? And most of it, we are the first in the country to do it. What we said, we gave him the tab, we standardized against BYOD concept. We said no BYOD, we will give a standard tab. You please carry this tab, okay? Using this tab, you will capture the delivery details, you will take the signature of the customer, you will take the feedback of the customer, correct? All these three things you capture. And what we do is, we track you, okay? We track each of my delivery guy, real time. So we have put a cell. So wherever he moves, we know. And we have put alert systems. Which geography he should be moving, beyond which if he moves, there is an alert, correct? Where is he stationed? All those things are captured automatically. And we have put MDM on top of it, which means on the tab, he can't do anything. I can monitor, he can't tell me there was no battery, so I switched off, because I can see what is the battery level on the tab, sitting in my office. So it's completely controlled. With MDM, we have ensured that when he starts that tab, only one application is there, that is Gati application. He can do only delivery, take the signature, and it is all real time. And what was the problem we faced? We said, okay, they used to say that we went to deliver in a basement, in their house, there was no signal. What we said, no problem, you capture it. Whenever there is a link available, it will automatically upload. There was very little issue of security, because at the end of the day, whatever the data was there gets cleaned out. And apart from that, we had the MDM. So anywhere at any point of time, I can track the device, track the person, and clean the data, whatever I have. This, in brief, is what I thought I'll talk about, and leave it with you, saying that you don't need great investments to talk technology. You need to look at a problem, and we don't have to always copy from the Western world. I strongly believe we need Indianized solution to take care of the Indianized requirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi Kumar. May I now request Mr. Srinivas Gaura to give the token of appreciation on behalf of NASSCOM to Mr. Ravi Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next case study for the evening, we have Mr. Shrikant Ganduri, Group Executive Vice President, Yes Bank Limited. Shrikant will speak on technology as enablers in payment solutions. Over to you, Shrikant.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to speak on technology as enablers for your business, in the business. Specifically to the payment solutions being designed by Yes Bank. And these are more applicable to the e-commerce companies, but it's not specific only to them. You may come out with specific problems which you might be facing in your regular day-to-day business. We might come back with the solutions. See, most of the Indian e-commerce industry, the way it has been growing is almost at 34% CAGR, and it is expected to be around $22 billion by the end of 2015. So the amount of money which is flowing into the system, just imagine, one is of course the e-payments or the electronic payments through cards, net banking, but also the amount of cash which is flowing into the system. As Mr. Ravi Kumar said, the kind of people believe in cash on deliveries, which are still the majority percentage of the e-commerce payments. So just imagine the kind of cash payments which are being held in the domain. And this problem is aggravating on a day-to-day basis because of the e-commerce, the growth, the way it is happening, the mobile penetration which is happening into the rural areas as well. So the ordering is happening on the mobile and web pages, but the deliveries and the cash business is also increasing on a day-to-day basis. As I said, the cash on delivery, the major factors driving the online retail, one is of course cash on delivery, where, as I said, you can check the item which has come to you and then only you can make the payment. Second, of course, the discounts, and the discounts of course may not long last it might be there for a year or two or maybe some more time, but the more important point is convenience, the value added services, the kind of choice, the range of products what you get at one particular site. The rest of the remaining would be common points. I said e-commerce business is heavily dependent on COD model, which requires the banks and the logistics companies also to improve upon the technology solutions which they are providing to the customers. So the emerging trends in digital payment market is of course the e-payment through mobile applications, prepaid instruments. Again, a lot of wallets are also emerging. The two things, the most important for e-commerce customers. One, if I don't like the product, of course, if suppose I made a prepaid, what is the mode of refund which I get? Today, very typically, if I have to say, if I have done a prepayment on an e-commerce site, the usual time I take is almost 7 to 10 days kind of stuff to get a refund from a e-commerce player. Second, most important point for the e-commerce player as well as the logistics company, the management of the cash and the reconciliations within their own systems. So this is where, as Yes Bank, we have worked upon those solutions, seeing the kind of increase in the e-commerce business and the problems which might arise out of it. As I said, the refund process takes 7 to 15 days. The e-commerce company has to make the entries into their system, then they make a instruction, get it verified, make an instruction to the bank, and then initiate the refund. So Yes Bank has embarked upon an innovative solution where we call it API solutions for banking, where we talk to the system of the vendor wherever there are refunds, and once those are approved in their system, immediately the refunds are tracked on a daily basis. So if you have put a refund request or you have rejected a particular product, once it is at the e-com vendor site, if it is approved, okay, yes, this is a valid reason for the reject of the good and this needs to be refunded, that process takes not more than a day. This is known as application programming interface, where the company system directly talks to the Yes Bank system, and automatically once it is approved, an IMPS, again, which is one of the latest modes of payment for the e-commerce companies in case of refunds. Of course, the values as on date are not more than 2 lakhs, but typically, if I have to say, e-commerce payments are not more than 50,000 on an average, unless it's a jewelry section. or maybe a high value white good kind of stuff. So these up to 2 lakhs we do through IMPS, and others we do it through NEFT. See, the cash on delivery, typically whenever an e-commerce company does a sale on its site, you would have made a payment on the date of delivery. But to the vendor, it might reach after 4 days, 5 days. One is that because the logistics company which is collecting the cash, it has to reconcile. Again, that logistics company is not delivering only one particular catering to only one e-commerce company. It might be catering to 10 different companies. So the kind of reconciliation what they have to make at their end, it takes minimum 4 to 5 days, up to 7 days, different, because the logistics company also give preference to the larger player in the e-commerce. Suppose it's a Flipkart or Amazon, yes, they might do it in a 5 to 7 days period on the cash reconciliation. And for a smaller player, it might still take more time. So as a bank, what we have done is, we have done an integration with the logistics company, the e-com vendor, where we are working the day the cash is collected. It captures the invoice, whichever is there, entered into that particular delivery. The moment the cash is brought back to the center, those details are captured into the system of the logistics company, where we have already an integration with the logistics company. There is a recon done, and the funds are transferred to the e-com company, which usually would have taken another 3 to 4 days time. And this has improved the total working capital cycle of the e-commerce companies. Also, we provide solutions to talk to their ERP systems. So definitely, when we give that kind of solution, the entries need to be as per your SAP or ERP, whichever system, Tally, whichever system the logistics company is using. So that has to work. So that's the kind of solution which we have brought. This is a pictorial representation, of course, this can be shared. The way it works. So as I said, customized converter solutions offered to the e-commerce to facilitate the payments processing, the MIS which captures individual airway bill numbers and everything and talks to their ERP system to settle the entries into their system. So with these also have to be taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrikant. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the next case study of the day, we have Jazz, who would be talking about the impact of social media on the business. Jazz, over to you, please.
Hi, good evening. Always the best position to be a speaker just before dinner. How hungry are we on a scale of 1:10? Anybody above 8 on hunger? Guys, this won't work. This session is going to be very interactive. Might as well start giving me your hands. Okay, 2 of them are above 8. Anybody else above 8 on hunger? 8 upon 10. Rahul, you're in now floats. Keep your hand down. Okay, good. So, what I wanted to do was quickly share with you some of the things that we as now floats are seeing in the market. I am going to make this a very, very interactive session. I hope to take about 20 minutes, so I won't take more than that if somebody stop me. Essentially, as now floats, what we do is we help small local businesses come online and get discovered by local online consumers and thus drive local e-commerce. As somebody says that to us very regularly, we are a well-guarded secret as a company. We have over 125,000 customers, and we are just 3 years old as a company. And then that's where I want to start this conversation with. We are seeing some amazing stuff happening from the view that we have as a company. On a daily basis, we see a lot of data flowing through our system. And we are still a very lean team, so almost everybody in the company is still exposed to a lot of data, is able to see what are the macroeconomic trends happening on our platform. Very quickly, before I move forward, I'll tell you a little bit about Nowflow so that you know what kind of traction do we have, and what am I basing my thoughts on. So we help businesses come online. We help them get discovered. We have patents on search engine optimization. We do local SEO. We are global partners with Google, which means we are a validated SEO company. And we finally drive a lot of local consumers to go into these offline local retail stores and drive a lot of local commerce. That's what we do as a platform. As I said, we are just 3 years old, and this is amazing. We've seen 125,000 businesses on our platform, and a significant amount of them are paid. When I say significant, it's over 70%. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it's over 70% is paid, which means as a small business owner, the propensity to pay in India, which was a myth for many, many years, that it's the hardest segment to work with. These people don't pay, they don't pay on time, they don't have money, they're very value-oriented. As far as we are concerned, it's completely blasted over the last 3 years. It's a business which we enjoy doing. It's a segment we enjoy working with. It's a segment we understand over the last 3 years. So it's a brilliant time. We bring about 4 million consumers a month on our platform. So essentially 4 million local consumers are landing on these 125,000 sites in a sense. So in that way, we are quite a big consumer company as well. But we remain very focused on B2B right now, rather than creating our own destination B2C side. And I'll tell you what the reasons are. And we drive a fair bit of inventory on our platform. What I'm going to do is, from this point onwards, is take you through a report. Given that NASSCOM does their own report, we did our own report as well. And we called it, Inside the Internet of India. And in the month of May this year, we took a very large journey. We ourselves drove from Amritsar to Kanyakumari in 1 month. And we put 2 people from our team into a car with a bunch of other people. We had 3 other people come along who are our sponsors / supporters and stuff like that. We put them in a car, and we said, things are changing faster than what we all think. And certainly in this room, we are all in a very cushy, what we call the glass rooms, kind of a corner room offices. You don't get to see a small business owner in its entirety. And when I say small business, you don't get to see the retail small business owner. I'm not talking about the Kirana shop, but I'm certainly including him. But the standard shop on a high street, the CA, the lawyer, the guy who's doing some sort of a local business, right? We don't get to see them, right? I don't know how often we get to meet these people. So we said we will meet them ourselves. We will go across this country, we'll drive the length and breadth of the country, and we will start seeing what those behaviors are, what are those technology trends are. And certainly with a very, very large dependency on social media. And that was a big thing that we wanted to cover. So we had 3-4 themes. We had social media as a theme. We had smartphones as a theme. We had apps as a third theme. So the 3 things we were very excited about, saying, India mein kya ho raha hai? Let's understand that. And let me give you the first thing without asking you a question, or rather I should ask you. How many people in India you think we would have met who don't have a smartphone? Throw numbers to me, guys. We met 242 businesses across this journey. We met 242 local businesses. How many do you think did not have a smartphone? 70% did not have a smartphone. Excellent. Anybody else? 50% did not have a smartphone. Very nice. Last chance. 10? 10% did not have a smartphone. Yeah, you can start working with us. 95% people had a smartphone. It should shock everybody in this room. By the way, we released this report with Jayant Sinhaji, the Minister for State, 3 days back in Delhi. You can see us on our Twitter feed. So we just launched this report with the minister in Delhi. So 95% shocked everyone. We sat there and looked at it and said, there's something wrong in this, right? This cannot be true. And that's the build-up I'm going to do to you today. This is reality. We saw it with our own eyes. Now, 242 people is a very small number. In NASSCOM's terms, it will be statistically invalid number. You can't put a report on 242 people. They'll say, Jazz, are you crazy? 242 people is, the minimum for a report is about 5,000 people. Anything below that is, it's not valid. But the point is that this was enough for us. We said 242 is enough. We don't want to go to 300. This is amazing because if you saw so much of trend, and I'll share you what the trends are. And I'll start giving you those insights right now. But before I do, I want to ask 3 more questions. How many of in this room people are on WhatsApp? How many of people in this room are not on WhatsApp? Anybody? There's one gentleman who put his hand up a little bit. You're not on WhatsApp, right? On and off, you're on WhatsApp. On and off means you're on WhatsApp. You're not on WhatsApp. What's your reason? Don't need to. Sorry? Personal reasons. So personal reasons. Okay, fair point. Are you running a business of your own? Okay, big business, small business, medium business. Yeah, personal reasons. Fair enough. So 1 out of. Rest my case. How many? Okay, the next question is stupid, but I'm still. How many people are not on Facebook? Again, so this character is out from this point onwards. You might as well not participate in this survey. So Rahul is not on Facebook. Anybody else? Now the interesting. Now third question. How many of you? Now this I hope has a lot of hands up. How many of you are on Instagram? Are on Instagram? Are. So that's a very, very small number and pretty much a young number. There are people in India who are small business owners who run, and I'll tell you in a second, they do fishing in Karwar and they are on Instagram. And they get business from Instagram. So this is this country. And as a part of the panel discussion, I'll make my first point to you. We are an amazing country. All we have to do is provide a platform and make it simple and make it on the smartphone and walk away. This country is just amazing. The people who adopt technology in this country and do what they want, no marketing. Has anybody seen any Facebook ads? Have you seen an Instagram ad? Have you seen a WhatsApp ad? Kaise ho gaya wo? Word of mouth. So this country is amazing. We are actually a very viral country. We are a jugaad country as well. We figure out answers ourselves. You just give us the damn platform and walk away. We'll figure it out. First question. We met this guy in Amritsar. Now look at this guy. He is sitting with Pratibha, is a part of our team. This is real WhatsApp. This is his real WhatsApp. This guy sells kirpans, if you know what a kirpan is, a very Sardar thing, daggers, across the world using only WhatsApp. No e-commerce site. He has no e-commerce site. He sells kirpans to Canada, UK, Southeast Asia, only on WhatsApp, nothing else. People send him a WhatsApp, he gets the order, he ships it to them. And he doesn't need an e-commerce site, and his business doesn't require one. We'll tell you that in a second. This is Kerala, right? This is a stone dealer, stone. If I know, is this tandoor stone, Rahul? Is this not tandoor stone, right? Okay, that's another business we have. This guy sells stone. You see the background in which he's standing. And he says, in his own words, I run my full supply chain on WhatsApp, which means he's talking to people who are in the mining world, and they send a picture, कि sir, आज ये marble यहाँ से मिला, whatever in his language, and sends it on WhatsApp to his stockists or dealers who will buy that stone from him and sell it to marble shops across the country. And it's all happening only on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is the first thing that we unearthed, which was just incredible that people were using it in these absolute remote towns, these absolute remote little small villages, if you may, and using it for business, not for, hi, how are you, or family groups that we all have. All of us have family groups on WhatsApp, right? So, but these people are using it in a real world. This is the Karwar example. This is, again, a very interesting thing. This guy uses both Instagram and WhatsApp to sell fish. You see the guys at the back are the ones who are actually fishermen. He says, we exchange pictures, negotiate prices, while the catch is still at sea. Again, not an isolated case, people. not an isolated. We did not know these people when we did the drive. Please understand how we did the drive. We walked into a city, we parked our car, we found someone who told us about them. So we didn't find this from any news article. We didn't find these people from premeditated reasons, and we just bumped into them. And that's the fun of what I'm saying in this country. Social media is not true for just all of us and sending our pictures to our family. It's just real in this world, and it's happening in Karwar, which none of you probably, I didn't even know where it was on the map till I had to find it on Google Maps. We did see a lot of people wanting sites because that's the business we are in. We did want to ask people that. Of course, we found a lot of, and this is again a very strange thing about India. We work in Africa, we work in Southeast Asia. We have an office in Kenya. We have now an office in Johannesburg. Unlike other countries, this country is very fascinated by our .com still, because it's still not Flipkart.in. It's still Flipkart.com, even though Amazon is .in. But we are a very fascinated country on .coms, and that shows a little bit of the legacy we all live with. People in India search for a .com first before .in, but that's not true for the rest of the world. If you go to Kenya, it is .co.ke, that's coke.kenya.co.ke. If you go to Johannesburg, it's the .nl or whatever it is. So in India, we see a lot of reasons why people. So in India, the internet means 3 different words. It means Google, it means WhatsApp, and it means a .com. Those are 3 words that resonate with an average Indian on what is internet for you. If you ask that blank question to someone, these are the 3 words they will throw you back as a feedback. This person in Bellary, of all the places, gets 10x on his investment on Facebook. He runs Facebook ads. So again, I think, no surprises. Only the funny thing I find sometimes is, I'm not a consumer of those ads. So if you bring myself inside this picture, I will say, nahi ho sakta. Main to nahi dekhta hu, right? And many of you might be thinking that, when is the last time, okay, this is a good question for all of you. When is the last time any one of you, okay, change question. Has any one of you ever clicked on a Google AdWord? 1, 2, 3, 4. And has any one of you clicked on the Google AdWord more than 5 times? We are down to 10 times, 15 times. I rest my case. I could have won this battle any way you said it. 50, that's it, 15 times. That's all you've ever clicked on. I've clicked on it twice in my life. But the fact is it works, which means it's not meant for people in this room. It's not meant for us. It's probably meant for somebody who's actually clicking, and which is not this room. Similarly, for some of these findings, we had to remove ourselves from the picture. I had to remove myself. I said, this guy, when he puts a Facebook ad, how likely am I to even click on that Facebook ad of this person, because I'm just in a different world. But the fact is, it works for him. It works 10x for him. And that's an amazing part. I don't know if you can read that. This is another big finding we saw, and this was dichotomous. This is very dichotomous to what if you see the whole flavor of what I've been saying on social media and how people are using it, other than WhatsApp and Facebook, every other app had to be pushed. Okay, there was a little e-commerce. There was certainly a Flipkart app and a Snapdeal app. We saw a lot of them. We'll share that if somebody wants, because the report is public. You can all go and download it. We did see a lot of that. But other than these, top 3 names that I've thrown, people still were not going to the App Store themselves. They were not going to the App Store. They were not searching apps like some of us do. I certainly do search for apps before I download them, other than, of course, hearing it from people. But this is a big thing. They said, "Aap mere liye app install kar dijiye," right? So there's a big. India's still going through a little bit of, if you don't have a WhatsApp business, and if you don't have a Facebook business or a Flipkart business, then it's tough for the average Indian to use your app. That, of course, is something we established, saying that still we've not tipped over completely on the behavior, which is, going out and non-word of mouth, I want to download this app. So still a little word of mouth, still a little push required. But this is something important that people said, please install the app for me and I'll start using it. This is a Nowfloat's thing. Now this is interesting. Again, this is not social media and a little different from the topic that I'm talking. Online banking is something, again, we thought it would have been good, and good news for Shrikant from Yes Bank here. It was amazingly pervasive. It was amazingly pervasive. And we sat down and we thought about this a lot. We said, how's online banking so pervasive in Ajmer and Coimbatore and Kolhapur and Karwar? And then we realized maybe because there is not enough Yes Bank branches in those places. And you said, chal yaar, rather than go to the branch, which is 10 kilometers away, I can just do it on my smartphone. Obviously, all these are smartphone cities, right? There is hardly any PC here. There's a smartphone in their hand. And this is a great insight on saying that people are willing to take that extra risk, because we are a risk-averse country, right? With two-phase authentication, if you may, OTPs coming out. But people are willing to take that risk. So Paytm says they have 100 million wallets in India. 100 million wallets. I mean, there are hardly 300 million people on the internet in the country. And 1/3 of them are on wallets is a very large, and that itself, 100 million wallets, is a business idea for another 100 entrepreneurs to be a billion-dollar company, right? Just think about it that way. 100 million wallets. I don't know how many things we can do on that 100 million wallets to do something, to even get 1 rupee from them every day in a way is a very large, powerful thing that we are saying as a country. Again, a huge thing which we are not able to understand, and I see it I'm not able to understand this, but I will tell you. There was more e-commerce being transacted in tier 3 cities than tier 1 and 2. Again, you might say, Nike के जूते नहीं मिलते अजमेर में, तो जबोंग से खरीदते हैं. You might say that, and that's the normal thing, right? I mean, because these guys know they want to buy Nike shoes in Ajmer, right? But the fact is that it was tier 3 cities which leapt out of what they were saying. They just completely, and this is not e-commerce dollars spent. This is the number of people we met, right, who said that they do e-commerce. So this is dollars. Obviously, the metros might be very, very high, which is okay. But the fact that 47% of the people had done e-commerce out of the 242 people we met is a very large number. And tier 3 cities, as I said, there might be reasons. Maybe there is not enough things available in tier 3 cities, but this was again a very, very, very shocking / surprising thing for us. And so in a sense, this is what's happening, right? Smartphones are absolutely pervasive. We thought they were not. They're absolutely pervasive. People have data plans on their smartphones because they want to use WhatsApp. That is the reason they have a data plan. They want to do online banking. That is the reason they have a data plan. And then they start doing other things on top of it. But those are the two large reasons why people buy a smartphone and then put a data plan on top of it. WhatsApp is a new platform. Okay, if anybody thinks otherwise, I want to talk to that person. It's a platform. It's not a messaging app. It's it's the new Microsoft. It's the new Google, right? It's that big. And somebody said yesterday, chat is eating the world, with all help chat and 1,000 other apps which are coming out. And, of course, as Nowfloats, we are working with one of the largest messaging platforms in the world. The retail point in these small towns still remain very strong. So the word of mouth emanates from the retail points. So when you go to buy the phone person who's selling you the phone still is an influencer. He's the guy who's telling you, acha aapko ye bhi dal दूं, ye bhi dekhiye, ye naya aaya hai. So India still remains a very small business influencer community. There are 2 people in a village, in a town, in a city who will become the de facto people who will drive the traction for you in those cities, and you have to get them on your side if you want to really make this work. So that's another big thinking in India. That's why word of mouth works in India, because we look up to somebody giving advice, or we take that advice from a store owner or somebody like that. So those are some of the key insights we saw. There's some stuff which is not in here. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. There is a lot of stuff happening on social media which is quite surprising, and and I can give you examples of them right now, but If anybody believes that you are running a small business and you want to do a startup, or you run a small, or you work with small businesses, and I say that if you are not on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, WhatsApp is a different beast altogether. If you're not on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you might be not only losing customers, which is a reality of life, but you'll also lose out on behaviors. And that's the important thing, that the behaviors are changing too fast. They're going very, very fast. And you cannot keep up with those behaviors if you don't sit down late at night alone, open your phone, go to Instagram and type a search string like Kirpan, or like saying organic food in, Jubilee Hills, or saying, running shoes, or as I was telling this Sadarji friend of mine, sorry, I don't know, I said, searching for turbans on Instagram. If you're not doing that, you're not realizing that if you search for turbans on Instagram, there are some 7,000 yesterday's photographs which have been uploaded. And then that's where the business is heading. You will miss out on a large behavior which is happening. So very highly encouraged to understand social media. It's changing very, very fast. It's changing very quick. The only way to keep up with that is you to be a part of it and you to be doing these searches. The Google guy has left, right? Okay, very good. So I actually search on Twitter and Instagram much more than Google. And I promise all of you in this room today that if you do that, you will realize what I'm saying. Next time you want to Google something, just take my little advice, leave Google, use the same word on Instagram and Twitter, and see the difference in what you're getting. And you'll make a phone call to me. So that, in a sense, is some of the things that we found as NowFloats. We found these things. This report is available on digitaldeshdrive.com or digitaldesh.in. It is open source. We do not want to lock down our reports, so they're available for any one of you to download. Happy to have you all see the report and give us some feedback. So thank you, NASSCOM, for inviting me in this evening, and hopefully we will have some interactions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jas. That was quite enlightening to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us Mr. Srinivas Gaura, Vice President FAPSI and Managing Director of Gaura Group. As a leader from one of the leading business groups in Hyderabad and a representative of FAPSI, we request Mr. Srinivas Gaura to deliver the closing address. Over to you, sir.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We have come to last phase of our NASSCOM event. Let me complete my acknowledgement as my prime duty. On behalf of Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce and AP Chambers of Commerce and Industry, I sincerely thank NASSCOM, particularly Srinivasan, for giving us this nice opportunity to participate in this event and seminar. Friends, this is very important event and business solution partnership. And similarly, we are going to organize one more event in Visakhapatnam on 9th of October. If you have any contacts, please send this message so that participation will be in full. It is beneficial for you. Friends, NASSCOM has done a marvelous job bringing out their paper on monetizing business opportunities by adaptation of IT. From today afternoon, we had a panel discussion, and before that, we had a Jayesh Ranjan. He has given T-Hub details. It's a portal which will help us, all the startup companies, to have this mileage. Then we have monetizing the IT adoption success stories you have heard. All are excellent speakers. Let us thank them sincerely. I think all of you put hands together and give a big applause to all our listed speakers. It's our sincere duty to give a big thanks to people who have parted with knowledge. It's very important. Friends, I think I am the oldest fellow amongst all the people, all the persons, all the parties. I am, before independence born, I have seen the entire process evolution in business. I entered the business in a very early age. In 1960, I am in business. At that time, we used to have a manual accounts. I don't know how many people know how manual, volumes of writing, exclusive people. Why I am telling you this, my audience and participants here are, few are in SMBs, who are in IT sector, who are offering services. That's why I am telling you this, for both the sectors mixed together, how we should structure our business and how we should have an outlook. At that time, see, we are all from universities. I was pushed into the business because my father met with an accident. There was another guy. I wanted to run away to US, but unfortunately I couldn't go. Till today I did not go also because that curse is there for me. And I was all thinking is how to do this business. You see, so much of volumes of Saraswati, very difficult to manage. Then totaling jobs, all those things. Then I got one adding machine. And none of my clerks believed that adding machine. Even they add that machine, that facet machine, again they recheck. 1 year this process they have taken to change over to this facet adding machine. Then without that adding machine, they couldn't do anything. Without, sir, that fellow is using adding machine, only one machine is there, I have to get that. That is the adaptation. Why I am telling you this is, adaptation is very, very important to grow in business. That is more important. That's why I am stressing. Then slowly we have handed over. Then we are the first people perhaps in a small business sector to use computer in 80s. We had a ORG computer. At that time, many people used to criticize, hey, you fellow, why are you spending so much money on computer? I had a Broadma machine first. Then I changed to ORG computers. And see, they were all criticizing me so bad. I was telling you, doesn't know what are the benefits. They said, you are getting a clerk for 1,500 rupees. Why are you spending for 60,000 rupees? In those days, 60,000 is huge money. Then fortunately, we had 100% depreciation for software and also for this. ORG has given a software at free of cost at that time, as a gratis, because we were Sarabai distributors at that time. These are all the things. Why I am telling you is SMB people, adaptation is very, very important. Then we have grown with this computer. Then today we have a business, in knowledge business also. We are in software, we are in engineering services, CAD/CAM CIE services. We do a lot of work for US and UK and other European customers. And we also give solutions for software and hardware, particularly cyber securities. All those things we will do it because we evolved. See, adaptation, changing to the circumstance is more important to have yield in the business, to be successful in business. This is more important. My friends, please understand this carefully. If you don't adopt this as per the changes of the world, you will perish. This is my sincere suggestion to all SMBs. MSMEs are not growing because adaptation is not there. Many people are not. We are giving SRM solutions. Everything we are giving, we are giving at most concessional prices and also services. MSMEs, still today I am not in a position to convince them they should go for ERP and customer related information, end-to-end services. I am not in a position to convince them. But this is a right platform. How Gati has evolved their business and crores of money Mr. Ravi Kumar is able to generate to the management. I know first question all bosses will ask, all proprietors will ask, how much will be the saving? How much I have to spend? This is first question they ask. Yes, Ravi Kumar like person only can tell is yes, 10 crores, even though it is 50 crores, above his imagination. These are all the things, friends, and also particularly who are service providers. And fortunately today, cloud is there. Earlier, we used to spend a lot of money on other systems, backups and other things. Now, with this cloud, our life is becoming very, very easy. Now, please adopt. Many small-scale industries doesn't have, few people doesn't believe in internet and computers. I know them. I tell them, you see, please use this. This will be more beneficial. It will make your life more easy. Even IT service providers who are all here, please, you have put your knowledge, you have put your time. Please help them, motivate them to adopt to IT sector. Without IT, there is no life. Friends, particularly in all our Hindu scriptures, it is said, Trigunatmika, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. These are all the things. Now today is a knowledge. You have seen Mahakali is only power was there. Only kings, all those people ruled. For many days, money has ruled the entire world. You have seen till last time. Now knowledge is the real driver. Adaptation is our ability to be successful. I sincerely thank all the audience for this opportunity. Nicely hearing for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivas. May I request Srikant to give a small token of appreciation to Mr. Sri?
I think I am one of the partners. I should not take it.
It's an honor to have you here, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a very enlightening conference, and I'm sure you would have great takeaways from the session. Thank you for sparing your valuable time and being with us here. Look forward to your support in our future endeavors. Here, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, Yes Bank, without whose support this session would not have been feasible. We also would like to thank our ecosystem partners, Phoenix InfoCity Limited, Hamara.in, and the industry association partners, Federation of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry, American Chamber of Commerce, and Retailers Association of India for their support. Thank you all once again, and dinner is served. Thank you.